WWE on Netflix is a confusing mess. Especially that I am in Germany. Apparently, I will not be able to even watch WWE on Netflix immediately when it is out. I will have to wait, and I have no idea what is happening. So let's see what the Great One has to say about it.
Even though I'm very excited about WWE moving to Netflix, I mean I'll be able to watch Raw live, SmackDown live. I'm afraid I've got some bad news. There's a lot of misinformation and misleading videos on YouTube about the Netflix deal. I get it, I'm guilty of this too, but I wanna clear some things up.
Why?
By the way, did you watch Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson?
Let's not talk about
I don't
it.
quite believe you. I don't think you really did. Since we're on topic of that, ladies and gentlemen, I have a big announcement, a gigantic announcement. Ric Flair, I'm challenging you to a match at WrestleMania 59. Nah, he'd still kick my ass. Scratch that. I'm challenging you to a match at WrestleMania, Bruno Sammartino. Also on Greatness of Wrestling, Wade Barrett's in-ring return, and did we miss a big clue in the Bloodline storyline? All of that on Greatness of Wrestling. People, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another episode of Greatness of Wrestling, where we talk about the latest WWE's nudes. So, drop that like. Subscribe if you already didn't.
Nudes?
I appreciate that. I want to talk about Netflix because I'm very excited about this deal, but there's a lot of misinformation, some ridiculous information that for whatever reason people seem to believe or, share on the internet. First of all, let's talk about the buffering, the lag that we saw on Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. What you people need to realize is that this fight was watched by over 60 million people. WWE ain't gonna get that viewership.
Yeah.
It's gonna be max, this is generous, but 4 million. 3.5.
Yes, but keep in mind that they had the same trouble with a live streaming of a reality show, Love is Blind or something like that. So I don't think that reality show gets more views than Raw.
5 maybe. I don't know. The first episode I'm talking about. So if anything, the quality is going to be absolutely amazing. So I'm very excited. I'll be able to watch Raw, SmackDown. If you're from US, you're going to be watching Raw. I'm gonna get everything, even the pay-per-views. So people, don't worry about that. I'm seeing a lot of information, a lot of concern, and I get that, but let's be realistic right here. Not that many people are gonna be watching wrestling. There's also this image floating around the internet, Raw, SmackDown, NXT. I can't tell whether this is real or fake, but Raw says TV 14, NXT says TV PG, and SmackDown says TV mature. So what's gonna happen on SmackDown? A lot of people are gonna be swinging those dingly donglies. I don't know. A lot of people are using this image as news. Oh, WWE is no longer PG. Can you really take this seriously when SmackDown says TV mature? Let's talk about Raw. TV 14, possible. Absolutely. Don't think that's gonna happen, but I'm 50-50 on this. But you can't take this picture as some kind of a proof when SmackDown says TV mature. Even if SmackDown moved to Netflix, Pornhub, it's not gonna be TV mature. What you need to realize is that SmackDown is on television, it's on USA Network. I don't even see it being TV 14, so these ratings are just, they just came out of ass. I don't know, reporting this as some kind of news, as legitimate news, personally it just seems disingenuous. I don't feel like anybody who actually put that out as real news believe that shit. It ain't gonna happen. Well, we did see a trailer for WWE moving to Netflix, so we're gonna get Roman Reigns, a lot of big stars including John Cena, which is really exciting. Will he wrestle? I don't know. I'm not sure. That's probably gonna be John Cena's return date, so he's not gonna wrestle, but he's gonna be very excited about WWE on Netflix. New era. Come on, Fruity Pebbles, all that shit. It's awesome. Also, Travis Scott is gonna be on Raw, probably performing, and normally I used to shit on celebrities being in WWE, but whenever I see musicians that I listen to, I get excited. I don't listen to that music. If you do, you're probably excited, and I'm happy for you. Triple H gifted him the Hardcore Championship, a modern version of it, and people like it and they're saying, oh my god, the Hardcore Championship is back. No, it's not, and it shouldn't. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, we saw that with 24/7 Championship. We already have so many titles. The only new title I would be okay with is the Women's Intercontinental Championship, so I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's gonna happen. I feel like it was just a gesture.
I definitely think we have enough titles for men. I just want to see all these titles also for women.
Scott is hardcore.
And now we are
cool.
just
We're gonna give him the modern hardcore championship, something along those lines. So don't get excited about that shit. New Monday Night Raw logo. Oh my god. Oh my god.
No,
Sweet Ryback on Ichiro's diet. Oh my god.
that is so
doesn't look good.
disgusting.
I hate saying this because,
That
I'm gonna
R
sound
is
like a
not
nerd.
R-ing.
Like a gamer nerd.
Looks like it's falling
logo
down.
ever. But honestly, like if you look at all the logos we had there, this one's kinda ass. Like personally, I love this logo, right? It's pretty cool. It's like they tried to modernize it. It does have some similarities, but it just looks ass.
No.
Smack Sound's logo is pretty cool. Not very
Smack
good,
Sound.
but I can deal with it. It's
Smack
different.
Sound, yeah.
It doesn't look too clean, which is a problem nowadays. Every logo, every company, everything is trying to get that clean logo, and it just ruins
like
everything. I mean, look at something
smooth.
like Pringles, right? I do hope it's not an official logo. I've seen custom logos that look better, so I don't know. I'm very disappointed in the logo. Not that it matters, obviously, but we're here to talk about wrestling. Obviously, we're gonna talk about all that shit. Now, we heard rumors that Netflix want big talent. CM Punk, Cody, Roman Reigns being on Raw.
Makes sense.
And it's
The
pretty
Rock.
concerning when it comes to SmackDown's roster. I don't know if it's just me, but since like 2019, honestly, SmackDown felt like the bigger show. It was the A show for the first time in ever, actually.
Interesting.
Because SmackDown used
Roman
to be
Reigns,
just a recap
maybe?
of Raw for a big
Bloodline?
period of time from like 2010 to 2012, more to like 2015. It seems like Monday Night Raw is going to be the flagship show again. I don't feel like it's even realistic. Moving Punk, Roman, Cody, they're the biggest talent WWE have right now. Some of the biggest.
Yeah.
And while it could still work, what kind of makes me worried is that SmackDown is gonna be 3 hours. It doesn't need to.
Really?
Especially since you're not gonna have the top talent. It doesn't need to be 3 hours long. No
Yeah,
reason
that's
to do
too
that. So anyway, the
long.
takeaway of these news are don't believe everything you see. Maybe the mature TV 14 rating is for the old episodes. Maybe some of the older episodes had some shit happening, and it obviously did. So maybe, we're gonna get old episodes on Netflix too, so they decided to give it a rating. Because, NXT at the end of the day is pretty new, so we never had these extreme moments. Raw did, SmackDown did, so maybe that's the case. Maybe nowadays some of these episodes could be possibly called TV mature. I don't know how, but I mean, well, a lot of sexualized stuff. So maybe. Let's talk about Wade Barrett.
I hope they don't really
Radio.
bring the really awkward sexualized stuff. Like, I didn't mind whatsoever the Liv Morgan, Dirty Dom, and Rhea replay triangle thing. They did it kind of like, yeah, we had these moments where I was like, yeah, but not really overdoing it. It was necessary, I think, for the whole story and for you to have these feelings emerge within you. They really needed and wanted that, but they didn't overdo it. You know what I mean? And I hope that stays like it.
Claims that WWE is a lot of sexualized stuff, so maybe. Let's talk about Wade Barrett. WrestleVotes Radio claims that WWE is discussing the idea of Wade Barrett returning to the ring for a match against Drew McIntyre. This would be a short-term comeback for Barrett rather than a full-time return to in-ring competition. This is something I've been talking about for like months now.
Yeah, we need
and I always said it sounds really dumb,
stories.
but that's something I would like to see. For example, we saw Wade Barrett's involvement in CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre, and I said maybe Wade Barrett should help Drew McIntyre and could get a match against CM Punk, maybe even bring up Nexus. I know it's a stupid idea, but sometimes I don't like fantasy booking, but universe mode shit. Seems like that wasn't that terrible of an idea and speculation at all, because seems like that's happening and I'm very excited. Maybe Royal Rumble. I do feel like that's a very good rivalry for Drew McIntyre. I mean, after Punk, what is Drew McIntyre going to do right now?
Poor guy.
He's going
He
to
really needs a
target
story.
Wade Barrett and all the people who supported Punk. So
True.
he's gonna feel like, okay, my best friend, one of my best friends, actually turned on me. How could you even say nice things about CM Punk? You held me back. I feel like that's pretty awesome, and he doesn't need to return full-time. He's a great commentator, but it's definitely a rivalry I would love to see. Finally, let's talk about the Bloodline. So on SmackDown, we saw Roman Reigns calling Paul Heyman. He couldn't reach him. But there's one clip I'm seeing floating around the internet, and it's Sami Zayn secretly pulling a phone out of his pocket and throwing it on the sofa. This happened before Roman Reigns called Paul Heyman. I don't feel like it means anything. Obviously, some of these moments are very subtle, and they do mean
they do it on purpose.
Sometimes a lot. I'm seeing the explanation floating around that Roman Reigns called using Sammy's phone. You think bro couldn't tell it's not his phone with this wallpaper. Yeah, that seems like a terrible idea. Honestly, seems like a terrible idea. I do remember the Bloodline actually breaking Paul Heyman's phone, so a lot of people are saying maybe that's why he couldn't reach Paul Heyman. When you break someone's phone, you don't break the card, the SIM. We call it in Lithuania, right?
Yeah. SIM
That's
card.
not how it works. I feel like it doesn't mean shit, honestly. He just felt like, okay, I'm gonna go to the ring now because we're seeing the Bloodline, we're gonna fight, so I'm just gonna drop my phone. I don't want to break it. Maybe people are reading into it a bit too much. I don't see Sami Zayn turning on the Bloodline anytime soon. So, another news is WrestleVote saying, I'm told that Bronson Reed / Bloodline segment on SmackDown got a strong backstage reaction. A source in Milwaukee said fits like a glove, exactly what I've said. He could be a full-time member of the Bloodline.
Oh.
Wouldn't mind.
Full-time.
Wouldn't mind. Obviously, he's doing big things right now. Great things. But man, seeing Bronson Reed and Jacob Fatu in the ring, this is what the Bloodline needs. Sometimes it's hard to take them seriously. You know, you look at the OG Bloodline and the new Bloodline, and it's like, okay, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose. When you put Bronson Reed, Jacob Fatu, they're actually like competition for Sammy and Jay. Tangaloa and Tamatanga, they don't feel like competition.
I understand.
Right?
Yeah.
So I feel like I would be pretty okay with Bronson Reed being in the Bloodline. But that's all I got for you today, people. Thank you so much for watching this video. Like if you already didn't watch more of my videos, appreciate that. Great one, peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.
I mean, he is from Lithuania, which means like he's not from America. And people in Europe also want to know more about what's going on with Netflix and what we are getting, because they really are not talking about it on bigger or major news outlets, especially American ones or in English. Leah, for example, on my Patreon, she mentioned it in German news and she translated it to English, which says about it not being immediately, Raw not being immediately in Germany. I mean, it's not that big of a deal for me. I can use NordVPN either way. I'm watching it on my PC, so it is easier for me to connect and do it like that. But do I really need to use a VPN to watch on Netflix? Like, that was the one thing I was so happy about, that I don't have to go the extra mile and I can have it like really easy and watch it really easily. But it is okay. Let's see. At least we are going to have it now. We can keep speculating. We can figuring out if it's going to be PG, mature, whatever rating. If SmackDown is going to be 3 hours. What's going to happen with all the talents? Are they all going to Raw? Maybe this is only for the first episode and then they're going to go back to their designated places. But yeah, I think we can keep speculating. But we are almost there, you guys. We are going to see it and we can judge from there. That's it. Thanks so much for watching and see you in the next video. Bye.